welcome everybody to the Chapter 64 edition of A Cast on Titan. This is the this is the special Christmas edition of A Cast on Titan. We have a full house here tonight. Just like last month, we have a little bit of a different setup. We have a different guest this month. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves for the fine audience. Scott, if you want to start.
Hi, I'm Scott, ScottyB23 from the subreddit, and I am a Connie lover. I love Connie.
Zach, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, bullshit, you're from the subreddit. Scotty. I'm Zach, Darth Mewtwo on the subreddit. I will apologize for any robot issues. I'm on my phone, and apparently the Wi-Fi's not doing too hot tonight.
Pretty good for a phone, though.
iPhone 4S from Apple Incorporated. Buy one today.
It can make your voice sound like this on a podcast.
I'm surprised the 4S even has that feature anymore.
I'm still a 3 from the subreddit. I am also one of the mods. Tonight is the night of the mods. Take over the podcast.
Yes.
True. Now, our guest for this month is Wawa, also from
Yes, hello guys, I'm Wawa. I'm WawaSC at the sub, and I'm also a moderator, and I guess I made the subreddit a long time ago. Not really a long time ago, like 2 years ago. Damn, it's been 2 years already.
I guess I made awesome. I made the thing that spawned the thing that you're listening to now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Alright, so, before we continue any further, we need to throw out there for a disclaimer, if this is your first podcast, that this podcast is a Manga Spoilers podcast, and we are only talking about Chapter 64. So, if you are not caught up with the manga, how should we say it this month? Like, you just don't
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, just don't listen to this episode. Go read the manga. That's what you should do.
Read the manga.
Read the whole
That's a good idea.
Yep.
Read it, and then come back and listen to every single one of our podcasts.
There we go.
And it'll be great.
And if you don't have a Reddit account yet, create an account at reddit.com/r/shingekinokyojin. No, I'm not going to spell that for you. Good luck.
Button.
Yeah.
Hit the subscribe button.
Be a legionnaire.
Yes.
And you'll be just in time to vote on the end of the year nominations.
Well, unless they're a time traveler.
Well, that's true. If you're in the future and you're listening to this...
Which technically everyone will be.
True. This is true. Or maybe that means we're the time travelers.
Or we can just wipe their minds, I guess, again, you know.
Oh!
I don't know. I'm not...
Calm down there, Rod.
I'm not too fond of that idea myself.
It's in the game now, yo, whatever. It's a logic now.
Do it, though.
I can't do much about it.
You can't do it, though, because you're not part of the bloodline. So you can't unlock its full power.
That's true. That's true. Or is it? I don't know. We'll see.
Dun.
Oh, man. Alright. So, let's go ahead and talk about our impressions of this chapter. We'll go in the same order we introduced ourselves.
I really enjoyed this chapter for a number of reasons. The action, how everyone seemed to be in it, Connie, and and just how, like, the tactics they used. I really enjoyed it. Plus the end bombshell. Well, not bombshell, but, like, revelation that we'll, I guess, talk about later on, so I won't get into it now, but I really like this chapter a lot.
Yeah, Connie killed the guy, right?
He did?
Yeah, he did.
Connie did something useful?
Yeah, he actually did something.
Oh, man.
Besides giving us a 1,000-yard stare.
Gruesome-ass kill, too.
This must be, like, your favorite chapter ever.
Yeah, because Connie actually had a range of motion.
Like, something good happened to Connie. So this is probably the first time that's ever happened, I think.
If you're on the chapter right now, go to page 22, 21, and you'll see Connie in action.
For the first time in like 40 chapters, probably.
No, he was
more like 64 chapters.
I don't know if you count that whole bush hiding, like the...
Oh, I counted.
Like he wants to be Solid Snake or something.
Stiller, it's Scotty. He counts anything. If Connie is in the background of one tiny panel, he's there and he's doing stuff.
He stole the panel.
Even when he does nothing, he's doing everything.
You know it.
Darth, go ahead.
I also really enjoyed this chapter, but I'm kind of worried about Hanji. But I'm kind of not worried about Hanji because I want death. And if it must be Hanji that comes in the line of fire, so be it. that being said, I'll come back to her later. I definitely enjoyed the return to the action in Attack on Titan. Human v human, that's fine. We got guns versus swords. And then, yeah, even though it seems like it's just an action chapter, there was a lot of answers and new discussion material that was missed.
A lot.
Yeah.
I think I would call it ammunition more than I would call it answers. But I think that's a really interesting stance, that the whole Hanji got injured and I don't care if my favorite character gets slaughtered because I want someone to die.
Yeah, you could learn a thing or two.
Yeah, I could never do that. My impression for this chapter is not as positive, surprise, surprise, but I don't hate this chapter either. Because coming off of last chapter, anything would look good. After that shit last month, anything looks better than that. So, if I want to try and be objective about it, it's alright. It might be pretty good. I think it's decent. Like Darth said, the return to action is pretty good. The whole big shebang, the whole big fight between the Not Annie squad and Team Levi squad, the second, was fun. It'll look good when it gets put into the anime. That should be
definitely, yeah.
In 10 years.
Yeah, and like even kind of what Scotty pointed out, we did get to see a little bit of a mix in action between who was doing what. Even though it was mostly dominated by Mikasa just doing her thing, we did get a couple of other characters at least having action poses for a chapter, which is nice.
I think John killed a guy the same way a Titan usually gets killed.
I can't wait for next chapter where they all sit around and talk about, man, that was awesome, look at all the stuff we did.
Next chapter is going to be about Kenny, I think.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the chapter, didn't get a whole lot of information that I would have liked to from Historia and Rod, because I feel like we're kind of in the same place with them that we have been the last couple of chapters, where we're not totally clear on what's going on between Rod and Historia and Eren.
If the information's not, just kidding, we can't wipe people's memories, you don't care.
Well,
just admit it.
We have information, but like it's so vague right now, where people are throwing their theories off the wall left and right, that, like I said last chapter, anything's possible. So I'm at this point between Historia and Rod and Eren, I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens without actually, putting my own theory craft spin on it, because, like, you're kind of right, because I'm just, after last chapter...
You're just done.
I'm not totally cashed out, but I'm waiting for the shifters to get back into it, basically.
Can I just say, I'm really disappointed, once again, how they're taking Historia's character into the wrong direction. Like, she has glimpses of good moments where she seems like she's on the right track, and then she just goes the opposite way. Like, on page 36, I'm looking right now, she says, "What do you want, Eren? Why are you glaring at me like that?" Like, she's thinking that in her head, and then just diverts, and then it's never talked about again. Like, clearly she wants to know what Eren's thinking, but she doesn't care enough to say, "Hey, Dad, you wanna, open him up? Let's see what he's saying."
I do like that she asked that question, and from what I remember looking at that image, she had like the most death stare looking angry face going on.
Yeah, she does.
So, I don't know, I'm kind of waiting for that to develop into something,
I think that's a key panel, actually, to be honest. Eren maybe have not said anything in that panel, but I think like his eyes, why he's staring like that, maybe it means something with what Rob was saying at the moment also.
There's just, I don't know, there's just too many possibilities.
Yeah.
Which is not a surprise. That's very common. Which is why I wanted to jump and say that maybe there's not so many answers in this chapter. I know someone gave me shit coming into this podcast about the whole crystal in the basement thing and what it was really about, because we argued over that last chapter.
It's a bomb.
Yeah.
It is not
what was that molecule again? I think it was mercurous-2 oxide. Explosive crystals.
We argued over something.
It was
super trivial.
Yeah, it was so trivial. It's okay though. But
that's the end of my impression. Wawa, if you want to go ahead and give your impression.
I love this chapter. I think it's my favorite chapter of the year, to be honest. I don't know why. Maybe it's only because it's the newest chapter that I've read. But I like it. I'm a big Mikasa fan overall, and like there's a lot of Mikasa drawings there in this chapter. So yeah, a lot of action. I think.
Well, I'm sorry, but you just sealed your fate. You'll never be returned to the podcast.
Is that how it is?
Stiller will not allow it.
I actually did not know that.
Oh, really?
Learning things today.
It's because he goes around with Dick Butt Annie instead of a Mikasa flare.
Come on, we have like a Mika Snoo like for forever now. You didn't notice that?
Well, I thought like, well, Mikasa's the most popular character. Well, that's probably why she's
That's
on
true.
stage. But she's in the title header thing like 3 or 4 times, isn't she? I figured that's probably why, because she's popular.
But yeah,
Breaking my heart over here.
but as I said, there's actually I think a lot more questions that was answered in this chapter, or more things that we can theorize about, like relating to what's gonna happen next. Like I think I can see a few people dying actually next, which are key characters, but we can talk about that later when we start theorizing.
Good. Let the darkness consume you.
Channeling his own Jeremy Irons.
Oh man. I'm just gonna skip to the end and say I really like how they made Kenny like a more motive driven, like self-motivated driven character. How like
yeah, I know a couple podcasts ago I've been basically shitting on Kenny, saying I'm not interested in him at all. But if they actually make him into something, like if he actually steals a Titan power, if he actually pulls off some shenanigans,
he won't now.
Like this whole dream thing, I don't know if that's actually connected to what Rod wants, or if that's Kenny's own initiative. Because if it's own initiative and he actually somewhat succeeds with it, I might actually be interested in seeing where that goes. So that is kind of an interesting point.
I just like how they didn't take him down the same path that they did with a couple characters exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
Where he's like he's directed into only one area, black or white, and there's no gray. Like, he may still be like a good guy who's like an anti-hero who wants to take the power for himself so he can like restore order, even if it's like a messed up way.
Yeah,
and
he's killed. Say whatever that means.
Yeah, that's anti-hero though. Like how he goes about his end goal is like justified in his mind for the greater good, but he goes about it in nefarious ways. So I feel like
Definition of gray right there.
Exactly, yeah. So I hope that they take him down sort of that path. But even still, it's interesting that he's getting developed, because I didn't see that coming at all. I thought he would just be like a throwaway character eventually, who either fights Levi and kills him or himself in the process, you know.
No,
but
I was surprised to see they remembered he existed and brought him back. I thought we were just going to see him in the courtroom and have that be that.
You know what, though? They gave him an entire squad. Kenny has an entire squad.
That's surprising, actually.
That went into a chapter to fight against the main character squad. That's a pretty big deal.
Oh, wait, we're talking about Kenny. I thought we were talking about exactly.
Oh, right. Yeah, but I'm like, if I'm super interested in anything in this chapter, I'm more interested in the Not Annie squad. Because of that,
what's left of them?
The speech that Not Annie gave kind of made me wonder what's really going on with the squad. Like, did Kenny lie to them about what they're fighting for, or do they have their own goal? Or you know?
It seems like when the squad leader, that girl, I forget her name.
Annie.
We don't have a name.
She's not Annie.
Yeah, she's not Annie. Not Annie number 25 or whatever.
People call her that because she's got the same nose and she kind of looks the same.
Alright, well, whatever her name is, she was saying, like, how she was following Kenny's plan. And it's like, so is she talking about his plan to take the Titan power? Like, does his squad know about his true intentions? Because if so, that makes them a lot more interesting. How they're like another faction that we have to deal with, as opposed to the Legion, the Scout Legion, and also the military police, and then the garrison, and then there's also this faction of Kenny's. So, this adds another player.
With her being the messenger, I also wonder if that speech was tailored by her to make it sound like they were fighting for some big noble cause, but she actually didn't care that much and just wanted to motivate the squad to fight because they kind of looked like they were depressed before they went into battle.
Yeah, I don't think she cares too much about Kenny just because of the, after Levi shot him, she just, like, walked up and was like, Oh, finally dead. Oh well. Wonder what I'll do tomorrow. Maybe I'll get a haircut.
Wait, who are you talking about, Zach?
Not Annie. A few chapters back, when they were fighting Levi in the streets, Levi shot Kenny, and she came up to him and was like, "Oh, are you dead now?" Oh well.
Should we just call her Nanny?
Nanny.
Nanny, not Annie. I get it.
Like, it's an easier way of saying that.
It is.
I don't know about that.
Wawa, did you have any thoughts about Squad Annie or Kenny or anything?
Well, I was really surprised that they have that many people, to be honest, when they showed who's the people inside the cave itself. Then Levi counted how many people, 35, right? 31 or 35, I think. Well, maybe they're down to 31 now or whatever.
They're down to like 7 now.
Down to a lot. But yeah, it's actually surprising that he had so many followers, and then not Annie giving that speech. What's the craziest thing is about, like, it's kind of scary how when you think about it, each character is like fighting for what they think is right. Everyone believes that they're all fighting for the good of whatever and something like that, which kind of makes the characters more interesting and makes you care more for them a little more.
Shades of Grey are awesome.
Yeah,
Zackley's all for humanity.
Yeah,
all for humanity, and the nobles are all for humanity.
Yeah.
Did you say Zackley was for him? Zackley doesn't give a shit about humanity. He wants
He
revenge.
wants humanity and revenge.
But
he's saying, "I'm doing this for humanity to get back at you for what you've done to humanity."
He can say whatever he wants, but I think his actions speak louder than his words. I mean,
you're full of shit.
Ultimately, it makes it his own version of humanity. You know what I mean?
I guess.
When Zach's naming all that stuff off for all the different groups that could say that, they're all fighting for their own version of it, which looks which, depending on the perspective, is looking totally different.
Yeah, I mean, we could even argue the same about Reiner, Berthold, and Annie, just based off what we know.
Sure.
That they could be
based
doing
on what we know. Don't know much, but
yeah.
You can't even argue that Erwin is completely right with his like motives or their plans and everything.
The Shades of Grey, I think, do make the best characters, though. I think the most heatedly debated characters are all Shades of Grey characters.
Yeah.
I so want to make a 50 Shades of Grey joke, but I can't remember the author's name right now.
Do we have enough characters that we can apply that to actually make that joke?
I don't care.
You're
talking about Shades of Grey, and those are the key words I need.
Well, I'd like it to be authentic. That would be interesting. That would be pretty cool.
Alright, someone on the subreddit, count all the unique characters with names that we've gotten in the series so far.
I'm sure someone will do that.
Should be like
Every
on the
time
dead
I've made a request on the subreddit, they haven't done it. So
yeah, they don't.
Incentive. I'll give you a special flair. Jokes, and you'll take it away after a day.
Well, see, this is why we don't do these things. This is why we can't have these nice things.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. I hope they continue into the next chapter, the oncoming chapters, with this action. Because a lot of complaints that people have had with this government arc has been, there's a lot of talking, not a lot of dialogue heavy, but not action heavy. And
no action, no titans, no just political politics.
But now I
know what Isayama should do for this next chapter.
What should he do, Zach?
He should just flip back to Reiner, Berthold, and Ymir, and just have them talk.
I'm cool
talk
with
about
that.
nothing at all, just while sitting outside Shiganshina, just for an entire chapter.
That's maybe one instance where people wouldn't mind just talking.
Though? We've been asking for that for like 10 chapters.
But this would be the perfect time for him to just be a massive troll and just do that.
I feel like if I go back to the Chapter 54 podcast, I will find a clip of somebody saying, I think it'd be cool if we go found out what Ymir was up to.
Yeah. Maybe not them then. Maybe just like Erwin and Pictius, or even just have the entire chapter be a shot of Annie's crystal in the cave.
I would be the only person who would enjoy that. 46 pages of nothing but different angles of that crystal. I'm down. Well,
yeah, that many angles, you could make your own 3D replica.
Yeah, okay, that's fine by me. You know what? That would probably be my favorite chapter.
I think that's selling the Annie figure or something with her in a crystal. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Have it like on a necklace or something?
Oh, really? Oh.
I don't know.
You want a
that's just
fucking
an idea.
necklace, Stiller? That's what you want?
I wouldn't wear it
He
in
doesn't want
public.
a necklace. He wants a bedroom.
Stiller's like, maybe they should make a necklace. I don't know. Maybe someone would be interested in that.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, as if
He wants one of
as if
those
it's
full
not
body
obvious.
pillows things I've got got in Japan.
no.
That's
What's
too much, though.
what Stiller wants?
Full body.
He wants a slanket that has like Annie on it. That's what he wants. People, make it happen.
That's too much, though. You know
I
what
don't think so. I mean, it is too much, but I don't know.
Like,
Annie is love, Annie is life, Stiller.
like a year ago, there was somebody on the subreddit who was selling shot glasses that had characters or like
Yeah, I saw.
fashion symbols. That's fine.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Like the body pillow stuff, that's too much. That's too much for me.
What is? Oh, never mind.
I can't.
You've heard it here first, folks. There's something that is too much Annie for Stiller.
I do have limits. Believe it or not. How did we get to talking about Annie on this podcast?
It's a good question.
Well, you're here, so it's not that big of a stretch.
You
We're
said-
super early into the podcast too, and like we should talk about the chapter more.
All right, here.
Rewind. Let's go.
Yeah, let's talk about the part where. What do we all think about the fact that everyone in the Rice lineage was, well, everyone who was a carrier of the power had the opportunity to give everyone the information of before the walls were were built, and they all decided not to.
I guess that's the thing that I can do the maddest at this chapter, is that whole panel where they go, oh, Frida, she's immune to all this bullshit we invented. She's a carrier for all the past knowledge. She had the superpower of the greatest Titan ever, Hulk Hogan, fucking Python arms. And she was the best, man. She was totally invincible.
Well,
She
I don't-
was
But she
great.
didn't do jack shit.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know if they made her up to be like that. They just said that was like the first Titan, and then every Titan after that.
In
not
this chapter, last chapter, they built her up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they said invincible.
They
That's
they
crazy.
literally actually said invincible.
But she was a novice at her powers, which is how Grisha took her out.
Which, oh god, I hate that. I hate that so much.
I don't know.
I think that the fact that none of the carriers chose to tell the world, other than the fact that, hey, who's to say that they'll believe them and that the carrier won't just be lynched for being a crazy?
Doesn't
I think
matter.
that it says that there is some terrible secret hidden within those powers that is enough to make all of the carriers say, no one can know this.
Because
The best thing about this conversation and where it goes is that the next couple of chapters is very possible we're going to be moving into a situation where someone is the new carrier, and we actually get to see how this drama plays out with
Yes, or Aaron himself unlocks it or something.
things that I know, the shit that happened that no one else knows. What do I do with it? You know, we might actually see that play out. So it's, yeah, an interesting conversation piece.
do we have any ideas? Anyone here, like, theories on as to what that dark secret could be?
What you mean? What it is that they're not?
Yeah,
that
like,
they're just not
what's-
telling humanity.
Like, why?
Whatever
Like,
it is, it's a big enough plot twist that'll change the course of the series forever, Scotty.
Well,
I don't think we
does
can
it
possibly
even
begin
matter?
to guess it.
Do they?
Uh,
Do they
what
just
do you mean
not
doesn't
tell
matter?
humanity because humanity gets their minds erased every now and again?
No, do you not understand what? Okay, so basically, what they're trying to get at, I think, is that every carrier has the ability to mind wipe if they're part of the Rice family, and also has the former knowledge of the previous generations before the resurrection of the wall, and
Yes.
there is some dark secret in the past which caused the first one ever to erase the minds. Like he wanted the remaining, or he or she wanted the remaining humanity
It was the Titan.
to forgive everybody. Like, I mean, not to forgive, to make everyone forget because something happened. Like, there was one instance or one dark secret. And then every carrier from that point on knew what that dark secret was, and because of that, they didn't want to reveal anything to the public. So there's apparently a dark secret that nobody knows about, which only those who are part of the Rice family have the power understand.
So I'd hate to
How?
think that it's...
My question is, how do we even know this? Because if Frida was completely mums the word, how does Rod know?
Because it's apparently passed down from generation like that they know. I mean, they don't have to... The carriers don't have to tell him what it is. They can just say, there's a dark secret, so I'm not going to talk to him.
That uncle was probably alive for a long time. The former carrier.
Yeah.
He probably knew Rod pretty well. They were
Wasn't it his brother or something? Wasn't it Rob's brother?
It was his older brother.
Yeah.
No, younger brother. Brother.
So I'm sure that they probably hung out a lot, and Rod probably knows a lot of the things the uncle knew that he was okay with telling him. That's probably where Rod gets his information.
And can I pull out...
How much of it is twisted bullshit that Rod's been selling to us and trying to manipulate us to believe is the question that we've been trying to answer for the last couple of chapters.
I was gonna say that, like, we're only hearing one side of the story, only Rob's side of the story, and who knows if he's telling the complete truth. Like, is it really that's how it happened, or is there another side to the story?
Yeah,
and we're gonna find out when Aaron starts talking again.
Exactly, like you said, Wawa, when Aaron's eyes, like, said a lot in his panel when his story was questioning, like, what do you have to say, Aaron? Like, what are you thinking? Probably Aaron, whenever he's unbound or ungagged or whatever, we're gonna just get, like, flashes of, like, what Aaron was seeing, and all, like, maybe it contradicts everything that Rice was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know what the other side of that story was? It was Grisha. Grisha's the other side of the story.
Yeah. Except Aaron has the true knowledge.
So when he, like you said, when he talks again, we'll get to hear that side of the story, given, or,
it won't be
that Aaron actually got all that information.
It won't be Grisha's side. It'll just be the truth, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there's a little
bit of perspective,
But, like, this is an incident that seems like it's between Grisha and Rod. Like,
right.
Because Rod represents the Rices, and Grisha represents the guy who killed Frida.
Yeah. The Jaegers.
Right. Because the Jaegers, that's not going to be a bloodline thing, right?
Well, what defines the Jaegers versus the Rices? I think this is a good segue.
Like, okay, if the Jaeger bloodline is a thing, that would mean we have 3 different family bloodlines that all have crazy fucking off-the-wall shit associated with them. Like, this just turned into Naruto, and we have different clans with different clan superpowers.
In the same class.
That's not what I was going to say, but...
I don't know.
I was gonna say
we segue into this, and I'm more likely to check out.
So you took that and just turned it into your own anti-bloodline brand.
It's going to get.
I'm not talking about that in any way, shape, or form. I don't believe Jaeger bloodline's a thing.
Please take.
My question is, what do we think of the possibility that Aaron is a Rice?
I would say not at all. I don't believe so. Because we got him at such a young age, like, we got into his life and experiences. I feel like if there would be some hint or some indication, like
the fact that his eyes are the same as only Rice family eyes?
No, I don't think that's true. I'd have to compare.
That's probably just a drawing thing anyway.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the Rice family eyes are distinct from every other character's eyes.
Again,
it's like his Titan's ears.
Are they?
It's actually kind of true, yeah. If you look at Rob, I guess. You can see.
So, if it were true, that would mean that Aaron can't be mind-wiped, because he would have that bloodline, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But aren't we under the assumption, according to Rod, that Aaron's not supposed to be a carrier?
For
because
one,
he's not
that could just be bullshit, because he doesn't work with Rod. He's not going to do what Rod wants. For another, we don't necessarily know that Rod knows Aaron's a Rice.
Sure, but that just means that it's all speculation and we don't know one way or the other, which means they could both be true.
However, we have seen Aaron use the coordinate before.
Well, I mean, he has the power, but the thing here is Rod saying that he's not supposed to have it because he's not supposed to be associated.
Well, let's be...
And it sounds like Rod's saying, if you're not a Rice, you can't use this power at all.
No.
Which would explain Grisha gave.
Well,
he never said that.
He's saying that Aaron stole it.
No, Rod explicitly said, to your point, Zach, that you can't unlock its full potential. So he can still use it in spurts or in some increments. He just can't fully unlock everything. He couldn't mind wipe everybody. Because he's not a Rice. But...
Wait, do we know who Aaron ate?
Grisha.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Grisha.
I'm trying to pull all this shit
Stellar.
together. I'm just trying to pull all this together. There's too much information. It's like, okay, he ate Grisha, right? Grisha is not a rice?
No.
Okay, so is it
I
possible...
think we're thinking it's on the mom's side.
So is it possible that anyone could have the coordinate if they had just eaten the right person?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You'll have... It's just you won't unlock its true potential.
So because he can't unlock the true potential, he's not a rice.
Well, we don't know that he can't.
He would never be a rice unless... Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, well, for all we know, because we're so naive still onto how to unlock the true full potential, for all we know, when he entered that cave and Rod and Historia touched him, he might have very well unlocked everything. And he might right now have it.
Probably.
You know what? It's true.
He's just waiting right now.
He could have walked down there and, like, basking in the aura of the weird fucking crystal things down there. Could have unlocked it just, like, through osmosis, and we don't even know.
No. Because remember when he got memories, and we know he unlocked more of it when Rod and Historia touched him.
So you think he unlocked the way to unlock the true potential?
No, he has. Like, he just unlocked it.
I think Scott is saying that
like the
he
contact
got rest
actually
of it.
did it.
Yeah, the contact
It was
unlocked
a catalyst,
his potential. Yeah.
Just like being eaten in trust catalyzed
And maybe-
being able to shit.
Maybe that's why Rod gagged him, because he doesn't want Aaron to be like, oh shit, now I know everything. So he
Well,
gagged him.
that and the fact that he can't bite his
Yeah.
tongue and turn into a titan.
And also so he couldn't fight it himself and be a Titan. But yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they gagged Annie too.
He gagged Aaron for probably multiple reasons. Because you would think that he would gag him just so that when he gives him the memories, Aaron just doesn't start talking shit to Historia immediately about what a terrible person Rod is.
Exactly, yeah.
But on the other hand,
it's just he can't bite his tongue.
Yeah,
like I said, they did the same to Annie in Celeste. The first thing they did was they put a napkin in her mouth so she couldn't bite her tongue.
The only reason I was going to that was because Historia might not be in her right mind right now, so it might have just been so that he couldn't bite his tongue instead of saying.
But I'm not buying, by the way, that she's in her right mind. I don't think that's like unless
she's not acting like herself. You know what I mean?
I think she's starting to realize what he wants her to do.
She's not.
He literally said it.
She's not acting like we know her, because I know you've brought it up in the past, Scotty, that she's like completely, totally different from how we're supposed, like how we've understood her in the past.
Yeah, this is like Krista right now. This isn't like Krista.
I almost kind of believe that she's just, I don't know, like she's had something done to her, or she's in some other state of mind because of all this nonsense going on.
I hope so. I hope we get a flashback of like the father giving her a serum or something to make her like more cooperative or something, because I don't want to believe that she just did a complete 180 on her character development. I don't want to.
Is it at all possible that this is what Ymir wanted to protect her from?
If that were true, then, like, oh my god, is Ymir so much?
The Wallace are under the control of the Rices, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And we know from Ymir/Annie that the Wallace were keeping tabs on the story.
This is true.
Hear me out. Ymir Rice. Huh?
No.
Think about it.
Ymir Rice. It's not possible.
I'm just joking, but
Ymir's gonna be like the head of a new bloodline. It's gonna be.
I mean, Ben Chandler's gonna be worshiping you now, but I'm sorry, Ben. It's not a thing.
God, I don't know.
Scotty's thinking to himself,
"Who's Ben Chandler?" We'll know the subreddit more. I would know.
No, that's real good.
No, I think Krista right now is acting more mature. She's listening right now. She's listening to both sides. Oh, well, right now listening to Rob's side because Aaron can't really talk right now.
To both sides.
Yeah, Aaron really can't talk right now, but he's hearing stuff. But he saw Aaron like giving her a big stare, like that, the glare, like "What's up, Aaron? Like what's happening right now?" I think she changed a little bit when Levi snapped at her a few chapters back. Like, you know, I was like, yo, you gotta do this thing for us, bitch, or else, whatever. That's why she's like, okay, right, fine, whatever. But yeah, I think she's just more mature right now. She's taking, like,
more mature.
She's hearing everything right now. Mature meaning like listening to everything
I
right
see what
before
you're saying.
acting up something. Yeah.
I
Like
agree.
she's not being rash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Although
he,
her thoughts-
remember that.
Her thoughts, though, in the previous chapter were kind of rash. I hope but now they seem more calm. You're right.
Mm.
So hopefully she stays on this trend and she doesn't be like, oh, I'm going to eat my best friend. Well, not my best friend. I'm going to eat the one person I could relate to just because my father told me.
Literally.
So,
Maybe literally. God, that I don't know. It's stressful. Thinking about all this shit is stressful.
it's a stressful situation.
It's like you said earlier, though, Scotty. Like we are still super naive to a lot of this stuff because we're just trying to string all this shit together, and maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't make any sense at all.
What if Rob isn't a rice? You ever think about that?
It's possible. I mean,
Because why didn't Rob eat his brother? Then why did Rob had Frida eat the brother, and then now he's having Krista or Astoria eat Aaron to get
That's
the
a very-
power?
Probably just because Frida was younger and they want the person to live.
The
as
younger
long as
blood.
possible,
Yeah, that
and,
could be true. That could be true, definitely.
What if Rod is an Ackerman?
oh, okay. Now we're getting to crazy stuff.
Stellar. Stiller, you're just more than a little butthurt right now, okay, Stiller? You're just mad.
What if he's a Leonhardt? Oh.
Like I said last chapter, I don't want Annie to be associated with any of this bullshit. I really hope she's not, because if
What do you think of the notion that she ate her dad?
like, if that's been around forever, but if she's actually like, oh, I'm from the Leonhardt bloodline clan where we have super like ninja fucking superpowers where our skin's impenetrating, then I can't deal with that. Like I'll have to actually back off of the she's the best character ever thing, because
Okay, that said, I'm writing a letter to Isayama right now.
well, I don't know. I can't deal with that. Man, I would just like be so heartbroken if it turned out that she has some sort of Ackerman thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's gonna be sad. She might be a good guy in the end. I think Aaron's gonna save her in the end. I don't know. Could be. I think anything's possible now.
Sometimes I think about it and I just go, you know what? Maybe she just shouldn't come back.
She was a good enough character when she was...
Maybe she's just perfect the way she is, and her coming back isn't going
I
to...
need to preserve my memories of her.
She's literally preserved right now.
It's almost... You're almost not wrong. Like, it might be a situation where she gets so bad because of being involved with this stuff that I would just... rather she had just stayed in the crystal. Anyway... we should segue to actually talking about Mikasa in this chapter, like the Ackerman bloodline thing. We talked about the Jaegers, we talked about the Rices. What's going on with the Ackerman side of things?
Yeah, she's...
I think the focus is more on Hanji than it was on Mikasa and Levi.
Well, that's probably just because Mikasa and Levi were super fighting robot, super powered people.
That's pretty much...
Well, like I said, I think they even showed up more of Hanji fighting than they did of those two.
Yeah. I could see that, but I don't know if is he really fooling anyone with teasing us about, maybe Hanji's super hurt, she's going to be gone for a while, maybe she's actually going to die.
I think it just cut some ligaments in her shoulder and she's going to be on one arm for a while, if not permanently.
At this point, we've been derived of a death for so long, I don't know if his teasing us with this is actually fooling anybody.
Yeah, if she dies, it's because she bled out, but...
I feel like the only reason...
Or maybe the crystals explode and kill her.
The only reason Hanji got injured was because Isayama realized it was too perfect for, like, nobody to get injured in that entire ruffle.
Yeah. Well, you think that he used this opportunity as the perfect time to kill Sasha or Connie, then?
No one's killing Connie. It's not gonna happen. But yeah, I mean... I feel like if everyone survived, they were outnumbered, even though they, outsmarted them with the smoke, they were still prepared and they had guns, it's like, nobody's gonna... And by the way, I really hated how, there's such a design flaw in the anti-personnel gear.
Yeah,
where,
wasn't that some shit?
Yeah, you just can't turn, you're behind you if your gear's facing one way. It's like, that's kind of like no joints, no pivots. They don't have that technology.
Do you remember when it was first introduced, the first idea we had for that technology was it being called the anti-3DMG gear? Like it was actually...
Oh yeah, I'll just go get the money to buy that out of my ATM machine. Oh wait, first I need to put in my PIN number.
I don't get that.
What?
Yeah. 3DMG gear.
What did he just say?
Three-dimensional maneuver gear.
Oh.
That's what you just called it.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
No.
like it was first introduced to us as like it was supposed to be better than the 3D maneuver gear, and now in this chapter it just kind of goes back and says, nah, it's shit.
It seems pretty crappy. You can't even turn. Once you fire, you only fire 2 shots. Then I guess
why.
it makes sense because I guess the gun is
otherwise it'd be
gas powered. I guess also,
Like,
and then the hook also is gas powered.
Some people have speculated that for things like this, it's because Isayama is actually extending the series longer than it was originally intended. He has to add shit, or he has to change things. I wonder if this is one of those things.
Like maybe in the original runtime, like they were actually supposed to kill people here, but
True.
instead
That
to
or,
keep
like,
the series
by now
going.
It's supposed to be like near end game, you know.
Maybe, yeah. I feel like there could easily, like, if he wanted to end the series soon, like if his original intent, there could be a revelation from Eren or someone unlocking the power that may lead to. Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
That could
I
eventually
just
end.
can't imagine how much more ridiculous we're gonna get. Because all I can imagine is Isayama looking out his front window and just seeing the dump trucks full of money pulling up to his house.
You know, hey, can't blame a guy.
He's
You know
going to be
what I'm
moving in
saying?
with Notch soon.
Like,
No, not that rich.
they
The
just,
Oda.
one after another, they just drive up to his house and they say, hey, that manga's doing real good.
Yeah.
Squeezing new chapters.
Honestly.
Did she really need to die here?
Do I need a
At this point, Isayama's not making decisions for himself. They've hooked him up to a Zackley machine so they get as many new chapters as possible.
Oh, no. Please, no.
Poor guy.
There's gonna be a Jaeger clone or whatever. What? New elements altogether.
And then everything just spawned off of it. Like, we have the compilation movies, we have the live action movies, we have all the different OVAs, the different visual novels that have come out, all the bundle packs that come out with each new volume edition or whatever. Like, man, it's just...
Making a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a big step.
So, what else happened in this chapter? Let's talk a little bit more about Hanji.
What about it?
So, where's Hanji gonna go coming out of this chapter?
Well, is it Sasha? I forget who was it that was taking, like, caring for her wounds. I think it was Sasha.
Armin.
Oh, Armin, you're right. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen there. I guess they're just gonna be out of the picture for the next chapter, maybe. If not, there might be development where they like come in to save the day at the very end. Like Armin comes in with a clutch hit or something, and knocks the serum out of Rod's hand or something. I don't know. Something.
He's Armin, not a sniper.
Like,
That's why they have Sasha.
I do kind of wonder what the importance is of Hanji getting hurt. Because
yeah.
I don't believe she's going to die, because this is weird timing for that. And, what importance could she possibly have to all the mega super, the mega powers basically going on?
Does she have to?
She's the smartest person here.
Yeah, she's a strategist, like, to begin with, anyway. She's more of a tactician. She sets everything up.
She needs any more. Yeah.
What I'm getting at is that her getting hurt seems to imply that she's going to have some sort of action in the coming chapters that's going to somehow tie back to what's going on.
I don't know if it'll somehow tie back. She might have more action, but I think it was a combination to go back.
Like, why just send her away?
Because I feel like Isayama felt like he had to send somebody away.
Yeah, someone's got to get hurt at least.
Yeah, someone's got to get hurt in this situation. They can't just be like gods. No one gets hurt.
Well, now
I do think it was a good idea to take out Hanji of all people, because she is the smartest person here, and if she was in the picture to talk to the Rices and and just see what's going down, she could cause some problems.
Yeah. She can break things down.
Why is she not asking questions here? I thought that was her character. Blah blah blah. So he's like, okay, you know what? No Hanji, bad.
I can see that, and I can buy that, but I'm also kind of in Zach's camp now, where I go, this is kind of just weird to just have her be hurt. Like, if she's just going away for the sake of not breaking character, like, just kill her. You know?
Oh, well,
No.
I feel like maybe her character's important, but they wanna have her lack of sense so that
Yeah.
the plot can progress in a naive sense.
Yeah, and that's why they chose Armin to take care of her.
Yeah, exactly. The two
But
strategists.
it's no coincidence that the two smartest characters in the series are suddenly out of the picture.
This is tangential to this chapter, but I have like a theory about what might be in the basement because of this chapter.
You and everybody else.
Really?
Which
Alright.
which might be, I mean, it's not nonsense. Like, okay, so we learned that there's a deep dark secret about the past before the walls were built, as to why no one who was a rights holder of the power spoke up about the past. So maybe Grisha had like found some research or like found books or journals about the past, and he wants like to spread the knowledge or something. I don't know. That was just my thought.
I still like the theory that it's another cave like the one we're currently in.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm glad you brought it up again because I did want to mention earlier that the Dark Secret, I'm kind of hoping it's like a super ancient time thing where it's not specific to any character and it was just like an event, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was an event. It was before all the wall.
Instead of it being like a generationally passed down, oh, great-grandpa for John Lannister created thing and now it's part of our clan passed down
No.
line type
It's
thing.
not. It's not going to be that. I don't think, because remember, Stiller, that the person who initially the first ever Titan, like that had the power. I don't think he was even related. Like,
I hope not.
so I don't.
Actually, I was just looking at that panel, and in the head and face of the Titan, it looks a lot like Yumiya's Titan.
Got you.
Like, a lot.
Ymir Rice. I called it. You heard it here first, folks.
But she wouldn't be a Rice. Like, that connection should not exist. A lot of people, though, seem to also think that panel of that Titan is Monkey Trouble.
No.
Hmm.
No, he's too big, not hairy enough.
He's still just out there, just getting
Causing trouble.
getting into Monkey Trouble. Like, what the fuck?
There's
This
a lot
guy's
of
been gone for like 30 chapters, and we don't know anything about him still.
dude. That's why I thought it was so believable in the past when Isayama was like, he made the big lie when he was like, oh, there's gonna be no more questions, all answers from this point forward, and I was like, that's possible because there's so many factors that we can go off of. Monkey Trouble, where's this village, Reiner Bertold, Ymir, Annie, like so many things we can go off of. And yet, let's just add more and more questions. Kanye, you're cool. All these other things. But
So who is this mysterious character that was supposed to be introduced, or maybe is still going?
I forgot about him.
Oh, yeah.
Someone-
He's coming. I think he's coming up 2 chapters from now. I think he's
Like-
supposed to be introduced in February.
Some new character who's supposed to be introduced is supposed to be
Let me
like
look him up.
freaking, I don't know,
The key to the answers of the series.
like the walking exposition for character.
What if they're one? No. What if we only see them through flashbacks and they're one of the previous characters of the coordinate, so we find out about the big secret?
Well, if it's a character,
That could be an answer.
If it's a character who's going to get introduced in flashbacks, it's possible it's a Rice.
yeah, for sure. Well, it'd have to be.
It looked
Yeah.
like he's blonde.
Yeah. What do you guys think of that theory, by the way? Like, someone's theorizing that it might be Frida that Eren saw in the first chapter of the series
I like that.
with the short-haired
theory.
scarf. Yeah.
But I also agree with the argument that it might not be just because they didn't include that scene in the anime, which means they probably didn't think it was important.
Did they not? I don't know.
No, they didn't. Instead, they showed, like, it actually looked like a castle playroom, like something Frida would have seen.
Look that up.
I feel like there's actually, to go off of like a character that is going to be like exposition, the character so far that we haven't been introduced to like fully, and also would have the answers, it would be believable that this person would have the answers, is Monkey Trouble. Because for all we know, if there is a Titan that is a shifter but has the sentience and the know-how of a Titan, then there's no reason why you would ever have to change out of your Titan form. Because you could just be a Titan forever, not age, get healing powers, and still be sentient. So, if that's possible, then that person could have lived through all of this history, because you don't age. So,
Wait, so you're saying it's Connie then? If you think
of course, so it's Connie, obviously. No, but, no, but seriously. So, it would make perfect sense for a Titan that has sentient abilities, like, and knowledge, to have seen the past, experienced it firsthand, and can tell us the actual facts. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? It's true.
Scotty, I'm just going to say this is why you need to actually participate in the server, because that's basically the leading theory at this point in time, that is monkey trouble. Just saying.
Yep, there we go.
Well, now, like, putting it out there like that, you know, it is possible that we haven't seen him, because him being outside the walls, he could just be, like, fucking around in Australia or something, and that's why we haven't seen him, because he's on the other end of the earth.
I mean, that's possible.
Like
he's visiting the other set of walls.
Like the monkey trouble that he gets into is basically like episodes of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
Honestly. Yeah, she never beat that game.
Okay.
Never found her.
Never found her. She's with monkey trouble.
She's out there
That was the answer. She was always with monkey trouble.
Oh god. All right.
I don't know what else.
Actually, Stiller, I'm interested to know what you think about the thought that it's Annie's father. The new character.
I don't have a whole lot of thoughts about it because, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, it's possible. Like, I need information to have an opinion about it, you know?
Okay.
I will say that her father did seem, from the very few flashbacks that we actually got to see him, he did look like there was a sense of urgency in his actions, as if he knew something. So,
Scotty hasn't seen the new character.
That was a super emotional scene for Annie's dad. I think that was emotion more than it was urgency. Because
what?
I think that was definitely emotion more than urgency, what you saw in her father.
Well, we don't have the full context, so, I mean, it's speculation.
Because, like, if you look at his dialogue, he, like, can barely talk. He's having so much trouble, sending her away.
The reason he's like, but why is he sending her away? Why does he feel the need if he has this emotion?
Oh no!
Well, that's the point. That's what I'm saying. Because maybe there's a sense of urgency that makes him need to send her away.
Well, what if it's her mother? We don't know anything about
it. It could be anything. That's why it's speculation.
True. This is why I can't really give an opinion about it possibly being Annie's dad. Because we don't, I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, it could be. That's all I'm saying.
Her dad could be monkey trouble. I don't know.
No, I'm going to go on the record. That's not.
Alright, Scotty, I've got an image of the character here for you. I'm going to try and type into this chat.
Scotty, you are right, though. Most of this chapter was the action scene. Like, the first couple of pages were, hey, let's go fight the dudes. Hey, here's the dudes we need to fight, and here's how we need to beat the dudes. And then here's us beating the dudes. And then the last, fourth of the chapter was, hey, here's that thing that we're not going to explain.
Yeah.
Good chapter.
Yeah, I think so. It was a pretty good chapter.
Okay, Scotty, that's the only image I could find of him.
Who's the girl?
And the picture on top is a picture from the virtual novel, or visual novel of Annie and her dad.
Oh.
That's young Annie and the dad.
Okay.
Oh.
So wait, why'd you show me this picture?
Look at the picture on the bottom. You see the one? That's the new character.
Then why would they show me just his face? They don't show me his face in the first one. How
the
can I?
The first one isn't of him; it's of Annie's dad. Someone put this together to show the similarity.
Yeah, but if I want to,
the bottom one is supposed
I get it.
to be, okay.
But if I want to compare Annie's dad to that picture, I want to see Annie's dad's face.
We haven't seen his face.
Oh,
we have to go off of what we have.
I thought we did. Oh no, you're right, we didn't. But
kind of similar.
Yeah, I mean
no glasses though.
The coat's similar. Yeah, no.
But you can see the beard is similar.
I think it's the back of his hair that looks the same to me.
Yeah, his hair does look the same, but.
However, people have been saying his appearance in the visual novel is completely different from that in the anime, and the visual novel is not said to be canon.
Sure.
So take it with a grain of salt.
Oh, really?
Very true.
Well, there goes that.
It could just be a Baruch Marcel of visualness.
We'll find out eventually, hopefully.
I think it might be this next chapter, possibly.
I hope it's a good revelation. I'm looking for good news. I need good news.
Stiller, I'm disappointed to hear that you don't think this was a solid chapter.
Well, you heard my impression. I don't hate this chapter.
No, but saying you don't hate something usually means you don't like it. Because if you have to, give an exclaimer that you don't hate something, It's usually not a good.
Well, the thing about that is that I usually never go out and outright say, oh, this is a thing that I loved. This is usually, oh, that's alright, I don't hate this.
But did you like it?
It's alright.
Scotty,
See?
he's like an apathetic teenager. Just let him be.
Yeah, so you're just
Coming from you.
you're PMSing right now, Stiller. Straight up, but
Coming back
Isn't
from
he usually?
Zach.
yeah,
Perfect.
Zach.
I help orphans on the weekends, okay?
Lel.
Okay.
Not true.
Okay.
But
Actually, I did, Scotty. You weren't here for the story, but that's what I did today.
I was not. Oh, good for you.
That's awesome.
So, Wawa, was there anything outstanding that you wanted to talk about from this chapter?
There's a lot of Mikasa time. I'm pretty happy about that. Mikasa.
You and Mika both.
So that was the best thing about this chapter then?
No, as I said, like there's a lot of answers there that aren't really answers, I guess, but they're there. Like they're not complete answers, but they're hints of something like an answer. Does that make sense? I don't think it makes sense.
It does. It does. It makes sense in the understanding that nothing makes sense right now.
What is this sense you speak of?
Well, that's the common understanding of the manga and Attack on Titan to begin with, is that
It's been like
here's
that.
a bunch of stuff.
Figure it out.
Here's no context. Good
Figure
luck.
it out.
Go hang out on Tumblr for a while and see what you come up with.
Yes, A Cast on Titan does not condone anything you may find on that website. Have fun.
Right. I guess not a lot else happened in this chapter, right?
Yeah, it wasn't
Lots of killing.
Yeah, lots of killing. Lots of
Question time!
Lots of killing of kitchen characters.
yeah.
Because we haven't talked about kitchen characters in a while. That's a big kitchen.
Yes, we have.
That's
This is a
mess hall size, like big old kitchen.
yeah. It's not good food either.
Right.
Let's try to predict something real quick. I mean, this is a big event. Like, this is like pretty much one of the bigger climax that happened in a series. Who do you think is gonna die? There should be at least one person that dies.
Because this is, like you said, one of the bigger climaxes of the series, I would like to think that the character would probably be one of significance for, like, everyone to be like, oh, whoa, you know.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I would think that the side characters, fortunately for Connie, like, he's probably safe, Sasha's probably safe. I think Hanji is too much of a setup for her to die. Like, I don't think he would foreshadow it that heavily. Because we've seen him with Levi, I'd say, like, oh, you know, Levi's ankle's broken, and everyone speculated, oh, his death flag's up for that, but then it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Hanji's pretty much safe because it's too obvious at this point, and because of that, I think maybe even Levi may be the one to die.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say
know.
that too. Yeah, Levi, I think.
But
I don't think so, because we still don't know what's going on and what his connection to the Lackerman thing is.
you even said it yourself, Scotty. We've been predicting that Levi has been going to die for a long time.
Yeah, but that's because, like, I'm referring back to that to state that when it's obvious, that usually means it's not going to happen, which is why Hanji's
Which is
safe.
why Hanji's safe, right?
But that means Levi's open, because since his death flag was already there, it only further deters us from assuming his death, which makes it less obvious.
I took the stance a couple of podcasts back that I checked out of people dying. So I'm not expecting a whole lot of deaths moving forward. Like, the next death, if there is a next death, is going to be
Rod and Kenny.
yeah, someone like that, or at the very least, far away from this chapter, like chapter 79. You know, I don't see it
That is far. Jesus, that's like a year from now.
Yeah, I don't see
15 months.
The only reason I feel like Wawa's right in saying someone's probably going to die is because Isayama, whether you believe he kills characters off a lot or not, you know, and whether you believe they're, yeah, which he pretty much doesn't for main characters. There's plot armor, but whether you believe that or not, what you probably believe and understand is that whenever something good happens, it's usually accompanied by something bad, and I can't see how something bad can happen without someone dying at this point. So, because of that, they can't, like, get the answer and then move on to the next good point. There's going to be some downturn from that, you know.
You know what it's going to be? The bad
So-
thing isn't going to be a death. the bad thing is going to be, oh, Rod completed one step of his plan. Oh,
Well,
the thing happened for the bad guy that we didn't want it to happen. You know?
But that would be Aaron's death in that situation.
Yeah, and that's totally not likely at all.
Yeah. Not again.
I wish.
Not again.
Maybe it'll be something smaller. Maybe it'll be like, oh, we can prolong this chase or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think all the Ackermans are gonna die except for Mikasa. That's it. That's my guess.
So not only the only Asian, but the only Ackerman as well.
Yeah. Like they brought in 2 real quick. We're gonna get rid of 2 real quick.
Oh my god.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Hey, it could happen.
It could.
I mean,
anything could happen to mine.
if you think about it, like no one's like in the same family, like for like no one's been around for a long time that's in the same family. Like the Jaegers died, 2 of them died real quick. Like Armin's grandpa died real quick because his parents died real quick.
Erwin's dad died real quick.
Yeah, and then Historia's entire
technically died real quick.
yeah, and Historia's entire clan got annihilated real quick that one night. So
A lot of real quick deaths.
See, I
Let me
was
tell
going to
you.
say, things happen real quick around here.
No prolonged deaths in this series. You're one
Real
and out.
quick.
we're just leaving the crop in your family, and that's it.
Yeah, honestly. You need one to survive, and the rest just go to the wayside.
It's true.
In order to give you motivation to keep going. Like, they sacrifice themselves.
So many orphans.
Well, yeah, makes you strong.
Does it?
And then
Oh, yeah.
and then Connie's family died also when the monkey trouble came in. See?
Yeah. I think Connie became the best character, so
Yeah.
They didn't die. They're still alive in Titan form.
Yeah, we were reminded.
Oh,
Connie
no. His mom's the only one left
We were
alive.
reminded that Connie had a family, and then they died real quick.
yeah, and then they died real quick because they couldn't. They
Here's
couldn't
the
have a
sad
family
part.
that was.
That's
Connie
very
par-
true.
Connie partook in the killing of his family.
Connie's a bad.
When they were
because
attacking
Connie does
Castle
what
Luca.
Connie needs to do.
You know
when
what-
Connie gets set with a mission, he does it.
I wish Connie's character was, oh, well, they deserved it.
Oh, no, why would Connie do that?
Because what an interesting character.
Dad didn't give me that new
Uh,
bike for Christmas. He was an asshole anyways.
Jesus, Connie's already a good character.
He'd be a different character, at least.
I mean, obviously,
I'm
yeah.
fishing
be a
for
character.
anything right now.
Yeah. You're fishing in the right place, though.
Yeah.
That kind of development, man, it's gonna happen.
Well,
telling.
sometimes you have to, fish in different areas just to have a change of pace,
Oh yeah.
What am I even
But,
talking about? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Oh, question time, I guess. Question time.
No,
yeah,
well, before we move into question time, we need to do a little QA with Wawa.
Oh.
So, Wawa, having you on as our guest, let's talk a little bit about the early days of the subreddit, if you remember well enough.
Oh, man. So long ago, 2 years ago. Well, basically, before I made the subreddit, I went to try to make our Attack on Titan first, because that's pretty much what you need to make, because that's the English title, people will find it easier and such, but someone already made it. And when I tried to talk to the guy, because it's been made for like a few while now when I first visited that place, so I talked to the guy, there's nothing happening in the subreddit at all. So I talked
There
to
really
the
isn't.
guy who made it. I was like, yo, what's up? Yo, this series is gonna get big real quick. You need some help doing something, whatever. I waited for a few days before, like, I made our Shingekinokyojin, and then I started, like, making stuff up, trying to learn CSS real quick, and trying to just spread the word of it. When the first episode of Attack on Titan came out, I got into our anime and tried to, like, promote the subreddit. Try to say, like, oh, okay, if you guys want to talk more about this, you go here. Even though the subreddit itself looks horrible, it was like black and white back then. I don't know if you guys were there. Were you guys there already?
No,
like
I
when
don't
you
think
saw
I've been here for just over a year, I think.
Yeah, it was black and white then. It was already only like manga pages, manga clips of the characters and such. It looks horrible. The download
Reddit
arrows.
saves a copy of every CSS change ever made. I think what I'm going to do one of these days, maybe New Year's Day, I'm going to go back as far as I can and revert to that copy of the
It's black
CSS
and white.
for a day.
Oh, they're gonna hate us.
Yes. Hey guys, we finally got the new CSS done. Hope you enjoy.
Check out the new shit we've been working on.
Yeah.
That was one of the major complaints from like the people from our anime when they visited the subs. Like, oh, this place is crap. You guys gotta change this thing. So I tried to get more people in. That's when Irf got in the subreddit, and then FG asked, or like also talked to me and like asked if he can help out. Then I didn't know FG that time, but he was pretty active, like really active in the early days of the subreddit. He was like online every day for 17 hours at least every day. I see him online. He always like he always does so many things. He does the CSS. He does the banning. Whenever he sees like someone like trolling, like especially when the identity of the trio wasn't revealed yet, he was like, "Bam, I got you!" Like a few seconds when the thread pops up, like, "Bam, I got you!"
Oh.
Then he's gonna remember who that is, and then
That's not the vibe I've gotten from him. Just from the mod mail I've seen from him, it seems like he's barely even watched the series.
He's burned out, I think. That's my theory now. Yeah, he's pretty burned out. I kind of had to move back a little bit also from the subreddit because it was getting a little bit too much. That's why we got like a few more mods to help us out. Yeah, we had to move back a bit. FG, yeah, he was always like doing a lot of stuff. He was also like a mod of Shingeki no Hensai, Shingeki no Shulker Jerk, so that's why he's gonna be stressed out all the time. Like, imagine handling Shingeki no Shulker Jerk.
Circle jerk.
Circle. Yeah, but that thing.
I think we got it.
Yep. How many times can we say?
I can't say it.
Talk about a plug.
Well, yeah.
Well, to be fair, their last post was 3 months ago. They could use it.
All right.
So,
yeah.
you did talk about it. You talked about how in the early days you had to do a lot of advertising. So how did that process work where you first really got off the ground with the sub? Like, that was after you picked up FG and you were over in our anime and you would actually like just advertise? Like, where did the boom happen?
Episode 1, definitely episode 1. When that thing came out, no one was really aware of the series, I guess, at that point. And then it was like, I think that thread from our anime for episode 1 got upvoted like 1,000. Like, got 1,000 upvotes. I think it's one of the top of all time. Because people were just so blown away. Like, what is this? What's going on there? Then I made like a really good comment and then slightly plugged our Shingeki no Kyojin. Then people went there, complained like how the place is crappy and everything. And then I cried a little bit, teared up inside, and then I did some renovation. Like, how about these guys? Is it okay? So that thing happened. Like, it's okay, Wawa. I here to help. Yeah, it wasn't really much advertising, to be honest, because people do try to find places where they can talk about what they like. So they found that most of the time they find our Attack on Titan first, and then when they see the place is empty, they go to our Shingeki no Kyojin. We try to work things out with the mods from Attack on Titan with our subreddit, but it didn't work out.
So we talked a little bit about how the first real big boom came in, but looking at the sub, like we talked earlier, there's almost 34,000 people on the sub right now. I think we also said 20,000 people in the last year.
I think that's what he guessed. Yeah, we were getting about 29,000 page views a month. Oh no, a day, I believe. 6,000 of those are unique.
Do you think it's all just word of mouth, or like how did we get here?
Well, there's a lot of when the series started, there's a lot of memes that popped out of it as well. So you can see a lot of like GIFs that's making it to the front page of RO, or in like threads that getting to RO, and then you see the comments. The top vote is like a GIF from Attack on Titan, like when Eren Titan was stomping on that one of the Titan in the early episodes. Do you guys remember that? Yeah. It's like a new meme. It's like, stop it, he's already dead, or whatever. Like, stop killing him, or whatever. But yeah, that got popular, and then people like ask, oh, what's that from? It's like, oh, from this anime called Attack on Titan. Oh, if you guys want to know more, that's our Shingeki no Kyojin.
I know I get to do that sometimes in like our Minecraft and stuff. I'll just plug it. And there was one thread the other day where someone reposted that Shiganshina build in Minecraft, and like half of the subreddit was over there. I'm like, okay, there's Death of Oblivion, there's WX Bombadil,
that's awesome.
There's Cooney-Bob, there's everyone. And I had to yell at someone to tag their spoilers outside of the subreddit, and some of the Minecraft users were not too happy with that. They're like, who the hell is this guy? I was like, I'm a mod, dude.
Not on this subreddit, you can That's awesome.
And then what do you call that? We became the subreddit for the day, and I think we got 2,000 new sub members.
Oh,
but
so
that was pretty early.
Okay.
We already had that.
That's kind of the next thing I was going to ask was, like, if you had a story about something crazy that happened, like behind the scenes that people wouldn't know about, you know what I mean?
I guess it's not really that big a deal, but when the show started, I was able to talk to a few people at Crunchyroll. Then I was able to negotiate a few guest passes from them, so I was able to get 50 guest passes.
Oh, wow.
And then I was giving them out 3 at a time every episode. So, and then after that, people started sending me mod mail saying, "Oh, I have this guest passes. Can I give this to you?" I was like, "Oh, cool, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely retake that." And then it became to the point where so many people were donating, and repeatedly also, that we thought that, oh, let's kind of give these guys a flair or something
So
for
that's
donating.
what that ugly ass potato.
That's why potato flair happened. Potato giver. That's how many guest passes they donated, something like that. Yeah, that was.
I know we still get a few mod mail messages about that every so often.
We do, but we're not really gonna take it. Yeah, that's also a pretty cool thing that happened. Like people just offering their guest passes to just be given to the subreddit, so that people can watch it on time. Yeah, we get it for free for like the monthly premium subscribers. So it kind of makes sense if you don't really have any friends to give it to. Why not? It's just gonna expire the next month or so.
Sure.
So yeah, having that 50 extra guest passes ignited that, and then people just continued donating, and then the process like continued for like the entire season, which is cool. At the end, I think we gave out like 20 guest passes by the end, or the last episode.
I'm going through your old posts, and submitted 1 year ago by WawaSC to our Shingekinokyojin, 5,000 Scout Legionnaires.
Yeah, that's a lot. Ooh. Wait, 1 year ago? Really?
Reddit's weird. It goes like 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So I'm going to check the actual posting right now.
So you're saying that we got 25,000 members this year?
I'm not sure.
That would be awesome.
The page is loading right now, actually.
Huge explosion. And last year was when
the anime ended.
Ended last year. Like there was no.
It was posted on July 30th, 2013. We reached 5,000 subs.
What date was the last episode? When you search that?
I think it was September.
Yeah.
September something. It was the week before I started the series. I know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I remember I joined the subreddit after it ended, like a week after, and that was in like August, September? Like, it was a couple of months closer to.
I think it was late September.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any other questions for Wawa before we move into the question segment?
I think you covered most of it.
Zach, anything?
No, I think we're good.
I think we're ready to go ahead and move into questions then.
We are, yep.
First question from Fomaz 5032. Do you think that the 104th contained a large number of important individuals for a reason, or is it just for ease of storytelling? And it has in parentheses contained all 5 currently known Titan shifters, tactical genius, the true heir to the throne, and a member of the Ackerman Project.
I feel like there's no way there would have to be like a mastermind behind everything in order to purposefully combine them. So I feel like that's a no, and also, like, it was definitely ease of convenience in my mind. I don't know.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's just Isayama's nice, easy way of introducing him.
I mean, it would.
So it's not like just a year down the line, Aaron bumps into Reiner and Berthold while working on the wall, and they're like, "Oh, hi, how are you?
Well,
We're Reiner and Berthold. Let's be friends."
How cool would that have been for character development, though? Like, can you imagine how some of these characters, like Connie and Sasha, would have got introduced to the main cast and gotten integrated?
They probably wouldn't have been.
If Isayama had to actually find a way to work them in without putting them in the top 10, without making them, we already know each other sort of things, you know what I mean? It would have been pretty cool, but I definitely agree with Scotty. I think it's easy convenience.
And also, so if we go by this, section by section, the four out of the five Titan shifters probably purposefully made them part of the same squad, for obvious reasons, so that's not a coincidence. Then you got, Mikasa, who purposefully went into the military with Eren, and also met outside of training, in part outside of the 104th squad, so you can't attribute that also to their getting together, meeting each other. So a lot of that's actually done by design within the groups, but
I wouldn't say the 4 of 5 were together just because Yumiya didn't know about Reiner, Berthold, and Nanny.
Okay, so
and then there's also the argument about whether Reiner and Berthold even knew Nanny.
Yeah, but I feel like they may have.
Man, the unanswered questions just don't stop.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I feel like a lot of those groups actually purposefully combined and like stayed together. But in terms of those groups,
Yeah, it's basically easy storytelling. Definitely. It's basically same thing with Naruto, same thing with Yu Yu Hakusho, same thing with other animes.
Yep.
Next question. Do you think the Rice were at the chapel on that day to make the population forget Wall Maria ever existed?
I think it's a definite possibility. The day that the wall was broken.
Yeah, when did Grisha attack them, by the way? Does anyone know? Is it before or after the event?
After the fall.
After the fall?
Okay. No, I don't know why. Why would they want to erase the memory of like Reiner and Bertolt breaking down the walls?
Because of the theories about the fourth wall.
Man, that's fucking out there.
I don't.
Yeah, theory of the fourth wall.
I'm gonna say.
Hey, people said the same thing about mind wipes. They said the same thing about Eren eating his dad.
Well, hey, guess
Well, who's laughing
the
now?
mind wipe thing shouldn't have been true.
Go keep
Shouldn't have
somewhere
been.
else.
Next question is, which do you like more, volumes 1 through 8 of SNK or the anime? So, do you like the manga or do you like the anime?
I like the anime just because I'm a more visual person,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just me personally.
Yeah, anime. You get music. It's easier to tell what's going on. And it's weekly instead of monthly.
Of course, again, I have to be on my own. I actually prefer the manga. And that's just because I like the order of events better. And I also like the little extra details. The extra scenes they had, they were super minor and they weren't important to the plot, but I actually like the little details for some of the characters like Marco and Annie and John, and it's neat little stuff. It's good to have.
The anime had nice little details too, like the steam coming off of Eren's head after he hit his head on the training,
but that's like visual detail. I mean like character detail.
Or like foreshadowing as to Reiner and Bertholdt.
I do like the manga. Like, it had more character content. The anime had to pull a lot of stuff, you know?
But the thing with the manga is that, especially in the earlier chapter, is the drawing is kind of
shit.
It's kind of subpar. Yeah, it's people did say that these characters look like this character a lot of times.
I know a lot of
sometimes
people can't get past that. I can't get past that. Like, people who haven't read the early parts of the manga don't know that there was more dialogue in that first scene after graduation, where they were sitting around and John was talking about whatever, he got 5th place or whatever. But there was conversations going on there. Like, there was extra detail in the manga that I really enjoyed more. That's why I like the manga.
See, I don't even remember that there was extra detail in scenes like that.
This is why you should read the manga.
I do read the manga. I've got all of the volumes, like, literally 2 inches behind my head still.
That you haven't read?
I have read them all, multiple times.
But you don't remember them. Okay, so maybe you...
Yeah, because they're not that important.
Yeah. You're just... it's a difference of preference here, because you're not a character guy. You're an action guy. And that's fair enough, I guess.
I guess.
To each his own.
Yeah, I can't tell you you're wrong there. I would like to, but I can't. So, next question. The next question is the one I went through earlier. Annie versus Mikasa, hand-to-hand, no shifting, no regeneration, no super spider sense, whatever the fuck.
That's not what they said. They just said no shifting hand-to-hand.
Oh, come on. You can't give Mikasa that.
Well, it's inherent to who she is. She's literally genetically...
Yeah, otherwise it's just two random people fighting.
Alright, well fuck you then. Annie gets to have her healing factor.
No, that's not true.
They never said no healing factor for
Oh, that is such a crock of
fine.
shit. This is rigged to start with. This is so
No, they never said no healing factor. They only said she can't go Titan.
Who's to say she has the healing factor when she's not Titan?
Reiner regenerating his arm?
You mean Reiner or who was it that got slashed by Mikasa?
Reiner Bertholdt?
Reiner.
Someone nearly got decapitated and came back before they had even shifted.
Both Reiner and Bertholdt.
Yeah, so there's that.
Okay, but it took a while though. It wasn't instantaneous.
It was pretty fast.
Fast, but if you're not gonna sit there for a couple seconds and regenerate,
Yeah.
Mikasa's not gonna just be like, "Alright, well, I'll wait for you." It's not gonna happen. But I would say just for the fact that Annie's trained and she's like self-taught, that's not much of anything when we look at how like Mikasa and her inherent ability, along with Levi's, just appear in every way to everyone else.
argue
story.
against that. Mikasa is the one that's self-taught. Annie trained with her father.
You know what I mean self-taught? I mean, like, you didn't get a head start with, like, you just being better than everybody else. Like, Mikasa pretty much...
bluntly.
Yeah, Mikasa awoke pretty much when Eren was like, help me, I'm being strangled by this person who's trying to kidnap you. And then, literally, Levi pretty much confirmed that...
That devil trigger.
Yeah, that she just got triggered into being a warrior. Pretty much.
Devil trigger.
Tumblr.
So because of that, I would say Mikasa, we've seen that the way Isayama's writing it, it seems like anyone whose last name is Ackerman is pretty much OP. So I would say her, but...
So this thread comes up so often on the subreddit. Like, anytime there's a Mikasa thread or there's an Annie thread, there's almost always a war between the two groups who are always yelling at each other, and this comes up super often.
Well, I blame you for that, for inciting them.
This is true. I am responsible for a lot of it. So I did have to bank a response to this question. My cop-out answer to this has always been, I am a character person, so I win in either outcome. It's true. Like,
well, that is a cop-out answer.
This is why
it's not about whether you win or lose. It's about them and whether they win or lose.
That's why it's a cop-out. That's why I prefaced my response with that, because...
Typical Stiller thinking about himself. We go.
That's true. If Annie loses, that's good for her character.
No, but Stiller, so
but
the question
is... we don't care if she loses. The fact is, will she lose?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Well, I guess, essentially, I don't care. Because
we don't care if you care.
I don't care.
I'm still going to give an answer.
Yes.
I'm looking at the outcomes and I'm saying, all right, what's going to hurt?
Wait, what is the outcomes? What are the outcomes?
Well, no, I'm looking at all of the possible outcomes and I'm going, all right, well, what
does it shit about
what is the most likely outcome?
Yes, there we go, Stiller. Jesus Christ.
Man, I don't know.
Hey, let's go to Wawa, because you're lost cause.
Wawa demod him.
What do you think, Wawa?
Best Legionnaire title.
Yeah.
Mikasa, definitely hands down. Even Annie says she's a beast and she needs to be contained or whatever. But yeah.
She didn't say it in that context. Like,
I believe she said, I'm interested to learn if these moves work on...
I'm curious to know if these techniques even work on a beast like here.
Okay, is that
Is that what she said? Okay.
Yeah. Like, if you want me to actually answer it, I'm not going to. I can't, because I can't.
Alright then.
I have to have my token, like, cop-out response for that, just so that I don't have to answer it. I'm not going to.
Let's move on. Alright, let's move on.
You know what to do, Wawa.
Why has the name of the city kingdom not been revealed?
I don't think that's important.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's the only remaining human civilization. They don't need to give it a name.
Yeah, what are they going to name it, like?
Well, the answer to this question is that it's humanity. That's the name. Yeah. That's the name of the kingdom, humanity.
And there we go. Simple as that.
I think so.
Yep.
Eren, will he be willing to let Historia eat him if what Rod says about defeat the Titans is true?
No, why would that make sense? Why would...
It's Eren. He'll say, no, I can figure it out on my own. Fuck you.
Eren's not the noble sacrifice character.
And also, if we're thinking logically, if every rice recipient of this power has chosen not to reveal it, why would his story be any different? So, I would say, why are you going to risk the chance of her just saying, nah, I'm not going to talk about it?
Well, not to mention what we talked about earlier about not really knowing what's going on in that head of hers right now.
Exactly, you're not going to let someone eat you. No matter what.
Yeah, Isayama might be into the whole Vor scene. I don't think Eren is.
After reading this chapter, who do you think the mystery character is? Who do you...
Like, what was the answer? What were answers? It's either Frida or Annie's dad or something?
Annie's dad,
I think Monkey
Trouble.
Or Frida, right? Or something.
Not Frida.
Not Frida?
Like,
Wawa, we've seen the guy's face. It can't be Frida.
Oh, never mind then. I'm still thinking about that blackout face for Reddit for some reason.
Yeah, I posted the link to the colored-in version.
What if it's Frida before she was reincarnated?
Oh, shut the hell up. Shut up. Get out of here.
Fuck you. Scotty, are you opposed to kicking Stiller out and getting another new co-host?
I am not. Goodbye.
Okay, say, bye guys, see you next month.
That's it.
No. Next question.
Do you think RBYA...
Arby's.
Yeah, from now on we'll be known as Arby's. Do you think RBYA, or I guess I should say Arby's...
Keep going.
Yeah, would also hold knowledge of the walls beginning aside from the Rice family?
I definitely think Ymir might. I'm not sure about the other three, though.
It's possible.
That goes back to the whole, what does Annie's dad know? What did he tell her? You know, I don't know. It could be.
And where's their village located still?
Yeah.
Every time
And
the question...
is this new character...
But, every time this question
It's a long
comes
time
up
ago.
about, like, what RBYA know, it's like...
Arby's.
Whatever. It's like, it frustrates me how we still don't know anything about, like, we know somewhat of their motives, but do we really? Do we know where they come from? All this stuff, it's like still in the air.
Well, Scotty, when a mommy shifter and a daddy shifter love each other very much...
Horrible person.
We have character
you.
detail for all of these people, but we don't know what the fuck they want.
Honest. Next question.
But on the questions note, what do we think RBA actually...
Arby's.
Not why, because we addressed why.
Just Arby's.
Does Ryder, Burger, and Annie, do they know anything?
They could. Again, it should
No more than Aaron, at least at this point for now.
Okay, so they know more than most.
But they're catching up right now. Aaron's catching up with the knowledge very quick.
He
might
come out of the crystal and be like, "Oh, I have so much to say about this," and everyone's gonna be like, "Yeah, we already know." What do you think Kenny's next move will be? Historia is thinking and asking questions. Is anyone else as happy as I am? Everyone be as happy as I am.
I would be
Chandler.
happier.
I think this has been Chandler.
This has been Chandler.
Knew it.
It would be better if she wasn't just asking questions to herself silently, and if she was actually asking questions out loud to Rice.
The question
and to
here
Aaron.
is, are you happy about Historia's development in this show?
Not really, no. I mean, I'm happy in the sense that she's asking the right questions, but she's not asking it to the right people, which is anyone but her damn self. So,
she's not really asking any questions. She's getting information, and then she's processing everything in her head itself.
Can I add on to this question? Are we ever happy?
yeah.
I am. You're not.
Maybe it's just me that's never happy.
You're never happy.
It's probably me.
That part of Annie's rubbed off on you.
No, I'm not going to complain about that.
I think that Historia is starting to piece together just what Rod's trying to get her to do, especially with what Kenny just said.
Zach, you've said this multiple times. Piecing together. Rod's literally told her, like, there's no piecing together.
I don't think he's actually said. I reread the chapter, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't said, "I want you to turn into a Titan and eat Aaron." I know he's hinted that in this spot for you to turn into a Titan and ate her uncle, and that's basically it. So he hasn't outright said, "This syringe will turn you into a Titan and you will kill Aaron."
So if Historia becomes the new Frida, where do we go from there?
I think that she's going to realize and say, "No, wait, no, I'm not doing that. Fuck you."
Historia's like, "This is all bullshit. I'm leaving."
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I'm taking the main point of this story and I'm leaving with it.
Yep.
You guys write your own ending.
As to the Kenny aspect of the question, he's probably either going to argue with Rod, or I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to, like, grab the serum, grab Aaron, and run.
I think he's going to kill Rob. Because now he knows more. And his original plan isn't going to work out anymore, which is something else.
Well, here's another motive question. What does Kenny want? Do we know what Kenny wants?
What's the shift, apparently?
Didn't he literally say his entire plan? He's saying...
Yeah, it's 46, the last page.
Yeah.
Like, so even if I eat them...
Yeah.
He wants to be king, basically.
Yeah, he honestly said his entire plan.
Cool.
So, yep.
Glad we cleared that up. Next question.
Wait.
He's a goddamn Disney villain.
Saying that, though, before we go on, I feel like that made me think of what could possibly happen, because I'm trying to think of how the plot can progress from here, besides Historia not siding with Rod, but at the same time getting away with this, is maybe Kenny goes to kill Rod, and successfully does so, and then Historia thinks the only way to defend herself is to take the serum and become a Titan to fight off Rod. So then...
But Rod's dead.
I mean, to fight off, I'm sorry, Kenny, not Rod. So, in that situation, she'll be like, not an aberrant titan, but like
mindless titan.
Mindless titan. So then Eren would still be at risk of being eaten. So it would cause tension, but not necessarily make Historia be evil or go the evil route.
But then you raise the issue that we have no way to get Historia back without sacrificing a shifter.
Yeah.
So I don't think they do that.
Yeah, it's just a thought.
Unless they want to turn Annie into some crystal chips.
No comment.
Maybe a little Titan sauce on the side.
Next question. How likely do you think it is that Carla was an illegitimate race?
See?
It could be.
Someone posted a nice theory on the subreddit a couple days ago, I think, that Grisha came from outside the walls. He saved the plague that was sent by Reiner Berthold and Annie's village to destroy humanity. And the king thanked him, and while he was in the capital, he met a beautiful young woman named Carla Rice. They fell in love, blah, 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 got married, lived in Skanshina, and everything was happily ever after. And I like that theory. That theory seemed to make a lot of sense to me.
Is there a camera in this world? There is, right? Or
cameras?
Is it? Yeah.
No.
There's no camera. Okay.
There's no electricity.
Wait a minute. Is there no camera? I thought there was a newspaper in one of those episodes.
Yeah, there are newspapers.
Sketch.
Are there not?
Sketches.
Sketches, right. Okay, not camera shots. Got it.
Newspapers exist before cameras.
Yeah. Newspapers were invented in the 1500s with the printing press.
Yeah, whatever.
The printing press?
The printing press.
Well, we're at the
Pretty
year
sure.
800.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, don't even open forums with me,
Kidding.
okay?
I think Wawa hit it on the head. Like, could be. Like we've talked about a lot in this podcast, there's a lot of could be's still out there. I think that's one of them.
Definitely.
Can't really comment much else on that other than it's possible, I guess, maybe. If you actually follow the rabbit hole and actually connect all the strings together, maybe it doesn't hold up? I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it might be a family picture in that basement of the entire, whatever, family.
An embarrassing photo of Grisha from the Christmas party!
Oh, no.
I don't know. Honestly, I could almost get behind it.
I still like that joke that it's just Grisha's Titan porn in the basement.
What happened to it's Isayama in the basement?
That's a good one, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a mindfuck.
The question was, to me, how does it feel to be wrong again, this time concerning the walls in the cavern?
I'd just like to point out that Silver's the only one that ever gets questions directed at him, and I hate you all.
So this is referencing last podcast where we talked about what those crystal-looking things probably were, and I'm not gonna
Mercurous oxide.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember that conversation very well.
I don't really either.
So I don't remember what I was wrong about.
I can't even think of... Did we even talk about the walls last chapter?
We talked about that specific, like, what the structure was made of, because we argued about it, because I said, well, maybe it's like Annie's crystal, maybe it's like a flesh-like, muscle connector.
Oh god, they're inside a giant titan.
Yeah, I don't...
Probably.
We argued about it, and I took a stance on something apparently and was wrong about it, but I don't remember what it was. So
the only wall thing I could think about from this chapter is the creation of the walls, and I don't see how that would have been relevant last time.
So I feel indifferent about being wrong because I don't remember being wrong.
You were mind wiped.
Should I say? I guess it's I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. It's just okay.
Memories change, opinions change. What we think this month is not necessarily what we thought last month.
See how bad mind wipes are? Like you get no satisfaction from that question because I don't remember it happening.
Well, that's just a shitty example, Stiller.
You take what you can get.
You have to. You're scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Well, I have to put in some work. Next question. What do you think will happen after this arc with Eren and Lying Bastard Rod is over? Will things focus on the village at the shifters outside the walls? Will we see Monkey Trouble, etc.? Etc. Where do we go after this? So what's the next arc? What's after this?
Honestly, if we're not creating different situations and scenarios, because obviously those we can't fathom yet. So going off of where we could potentially go, the shifter village is one area. What's in the basement? It's another area.
Basement.
So I think Kenny is a shit big bad. He cannot be the big bad.
He's not, I'm sure. It's way too early for the big bad to have even been introduced.
Eventually, I think Monkey Trouble is going to end up being the big bad, because I don't know who else it would be. I've super formed, like Form 3 Rod Rice Shifter? I don't know.
Mecha Rod Rice.
Yeah, something like that. Next arc is going to be some sort of transition into finding the big bad and answering some of the unanswered questions we have, whether that means we actually go back to Reiner, Bertholdt, and Ymir. Maybe the next arc focuses on them entirely, and we don't see anybody else from this arc.
That would be amazing. And then we'd have so many complaints. I want Eren. I want Mikasa.
Like people who complain about it being cold or hot in the summertime, and then complain about it being cold in the wintertime. I would be a fan of that. I know a lot of people would be a fan of that. I like that idea.
You guys know that Rod and Monkey Trouble has the same type of beard?
It's Rod is not Monkey Trouble, Wawa.
I don't know. I mean Kenny. Kenny, not Rod. Kenny.
Kenny's not Monkey
Trouble
the same
either. Style of beard.
Remember when we thought it was Grisha who was Monkey Trouble?
A long time ago, that.
Yep.
Next question. What do you think happened and where they currently are to RBA and Ymir, provided they're still alive? How do you think the village responded to them coming back empty-handed? And how do you think they will react to a possibly unified humanity? First
off, I'm amazed Reiner and Bertholdt aren't a sniveling mess right now. Imagine being a little kid and then being shoved out of your village and separated from your family for 5 years and having no way to talk to them.
So you give Reiner and Bertholdt that sympathy, but you won't give that to Annie?
Annie's a bitch.
You see what I'm working with here? This is exactly what I'm talking about.
See, Stiller, the thing is, I couldn't give a rat's ass about Annie. I just do it to get at you.
Oh.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing of it.
And it works because I hate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so first question, because this is a multi-part question. Just RBY. RBY is going home empty-handed, and how does the village react to it? Chapter 46, I think it was where Reiner, Bertholdt, and Ymir were sitting in the trees, talking about how if Ymir goes back with them, she's probably going to die. So I don't think the village responded very well.
Did Ymir also have the same mission? She didn't, right? She didn't have the same mission.
No, she didn't.
Ymir was
she didn't have a mission at all.
Ymir was a mindless titan that ate Reiner and Bertholdt's friend.
Reiner's friend, yeah.
Traveling to the walls.
If she does have a mission, it's like an independent mission.
Yeah. Her mission is basically save Historia so she can get the...
That's the mission.
That ass.
So yeah, if Reiner and Bertholdt came back with her to the village, they're not really going back empty-handed. It's something.
They're coming back with their friend's stolen titan power so that presumably the village can take one of their people, turn them into Titan, and eat Ymir.
They're not coming back with the thing they were sent out to get.
The goal, the overall goal.
And/or Monkey Trouble.
Right. So,
or Historia.
I guess it's pretty easy to call it then that they're not happy. Murderously so. How do you think this will affect them and our heroes in the chapters to come? Like we said, that's possible next arc. It's pretty possibly likely. How do you think they will react to a possibly unified humanity? I think Ymir was more on point with that than anybody else. I'm not sure if RBA care about that at all, but Ymir seemed to be tuned into that being a possibility. Just because she told Historia that the inside of the walls was about to go through some shit before we had any idea that was a possibility. You know?
Right, yeah.
So I think Ymir would be the one who would have a better response to that question. So we've gotten good evidence that Annie's dad will be appearing in something like Chapter 66 after that convention. This opens up the possibility for RBY to re-enter the scene. What do you think? Yes, like we said, possibly next arc.
Well, that's just assuming that the mystery character is Annie's dad.
Well, regardless, we need to find out more about Annie's dad. Like, we need to have that character resolution for, why she was sent away, what he did to cause that to happen, or what he didn't do, or what he was involved in, and then we need Reiner Bertholdt's family involvement, the whole village setup. That's gotta be...
Annie's dad had a serious gambling debt. Let's just leave it at that.
So she got sent to humanity because she needed to make money by...
Collect. Yeah.
What do we know about
Japanese
him so
mafia
far?
is not to be trifled with. Points
What
to
do we
anyone
know
who
about
gets
him so far? Stiller.
What do we know about Annie?
Annie's dad so far.
Oh, Annie's dad.
He apologized for something and that he was wrong, and she should not.
Annie described him as an idealist, which would imply that he had some sort of lofty, idealistic, like perfect, utopia-esque goal that he wanted to achieve.
A final solution to humanity's issues.
But he was too idealistic, and that could imply that what he was after backfired. And beyond that, we know that he had to send Annie away because of something like Annie got sent away by her dad to achieve some sort of goal that she and the other kids had to be sent for specifically, instead of sending adults from the village because of some reason. And we don't know anything about a mother. Her dad is an older man grasping at any information here, and there's no...
They lived in the woods.
They lived in a village somewhere. I don't know. The
In the
ending
forest.
early on described that all three of them lived in a village somewhere off in a mountainous area somewhere. I don't think it gave it a name, if I don't recall if it did or not.
No.
We can't believe anything they said about that, actually. That was what they said in training while they
Could be
were...
all lies, yeah, that's true.
And we don't know that Annie came with Reiner Bertholdt.
Beyond that, we don't know a whole lot about Annie's dad.
Yeah, not a lot.
That's about all.
Can't really say much. Yeah.
Next question. Which characters would be the most fun to party with? Who would party the hardest?
I feel like Hanji would be really good at partying.
Man,
Hanji's gonna be fun, yeah.
I love this question. It's a great question.
And Sasha.
Connie.
Sasha, yes.
No, Sasha would just be that girl who sits in the back and steals all the food.
Yeah, but you never know.
I guess it depends on what kind of party it is, Like, if
Like a baking party.
if the energy is going, people are having a good time, I could see Sasha
Pictures.
getting into
Pictures
it.
would be good.
No, Pictures would...
We saw that in the second OVA. Pictures would be good.
No, I don't see that.
Connie would be awesome.
Who's that girl from the military police? The one with Annie.
Hitch.
Hitch.
Yeah.
Would be awesome. Yeah.
She would be fun. She'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Connie would be that...
I feel like she'd be a fun drunk.
Connie would be that idiot who gets dared to do something super
Yeah,
stupid.
by Hitch.
He gets dared to do something stupid, like
And he'd
Dinosaur
do it, 'cause
balcony,
he's a
and he fucking
boss.
does it and breaks his neck. Or
No, he wouldn't break his neck though. He'd be one of those stupid idiots who does stupid things and always miraculously isn't injured. Everyone's like, how did you not die from that?
I can see that too. Does that make
Yeah.
him the coolest thing?
hey, Connie, I dare you to jump off the wall and not use your gear to 10 feet up.
I could see Reiner being the guy who asked him to do that too.
Oh yeah, that was my first
Sure.
thought. Reiner and John.
John would be pretty cool, I think.
John would be like that quiet kid though.
Yeah, but he...
I don't feel like
In
he's-
his omnits.
When we were first introduced to John, he was kind of a cocky asshole. And he grew into a...
Cocky asshole.
Well, he grew out of being a cocky asshole. He's a lot more respectful now, and how would he be at a party? I don't know. Any of these people wouldn't be able to rationalize what a party is,
Hope they didn't serve any hay derivatives.
You'd have to go to nobility to find anybody who even knows what we're talking about.
Honest. Marco would be aloof. He'd be like half there, half not there.
Annie's squad's supervisors would be good at a party because they party all the time while the lackeys do all the work for them.
Hannes.
Hannes would be Hannes would be good.
He's always drunk.
I could see him being...
Well, would have been, but...
I think Hannes would be the kind of guy who sits around telling stories.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I don't think Mark would be too good. He'd only really be half there.
I just made that joke. Did you not hear it? I literally made that joke.
Dang it. Petra would be that girl that was stoned in the back corner just because she loves trees and all that. I'm shocked that I was the one to make that joke.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm so sorry, Estelindas. I'm so sorry.
Any other characters who'd be cool to hang out with? What about?
I feel like Erwin would be awesome on a roller coaster.
What?
Like, have you seen that image of the Erwin with his advance, like when he's shouting advance and they Photoshop it onto a roller coaster?
Yeah.
I think he'd be fun on a roller
Getting
coaster.
him to open up to a party would be hard, I think. But if he does, it'd be cool. He'd be a cool person to hang out with, or at least have a drink with, you know. Who else? Keith, maybe? Because he's so big.
Kill everyone.
Maybe because like he's such a dick and so radical, you know.
Kenny would be fun for a party.
Yeah.
He'd be that drunk that just busts down the door. Mr. MP is here.
He would make me want to leave immediately if he did.
Yeah.
He's the annoying one. Yeah, he's the annoying.
I could see that. He's that fucking prick.
It'd probably be
Sasha?
cool.
No,
Hanji and Hitch.
Hanji, Hitch,
Hanji, Hitch, Sasha, and Connie.
Reiner would be good.
Okay. That's a pretty good
Fucking
lineup.
roids, man.
Yeah.
No pain, no gain.
Next question. Not Annie encouraged her team to believe in Kenny's dream, a dream they're willing to die for. If it is revealed that Kenny's ulterior motives are ultimately for the benefit of humanity, would you consider him morally redeemable? So this is a Shades of Grey question.
Yeah,
I would not agree with his methods, therefore no.
Yeah. Because if you want to say morally redeemable, that's different than... I don't know, that's getting into the sense of, like, he enjoyed killing too much, and he thought of, like, lives as too expendable. Like, at least when Erwin did it, he wasn't having fun when he gave orders, like, oh, everyone advance. Like, he was doing it for a purpose that he knew was serious. Whereas Kenny, he just, like, whimsically is just like, oh, just, I don't give a shit, just go, fight.
He's torturing innocent school teachers and somewhat prostitutes.
Some people are going to look at what Kenny's doing, though, and say, you know what, if it actually saves the world, saves humanity,
No.
it's fine.
I agree, but that doesn't make it morally redeemable.
Yeah.
It just makes it ethically or, like, technically. I don't know what
Okay, to be fair, Scotty, now you're just nitpicking.
Thank you. Thank you for mistaking me with Connie. That's appreciated.
Well,
yeah, you're both boring and forgettable.
Instead of calling it moral or ethical, I think we should define it as a utilitarian perspective.
Forgivable.
Yeah, because you're basically weighing pros and cons of, oh, he did a lot of bad things, but the good of it was worth it.
It's like saying, would you be ethically redeemable if you killed 1,000 people to save 1,001?
So here's the thing, that's the entire shifter character. Because, hey, we are genociding people that everyone hates, but we might be redeemed because we were working for humanity the whole time and we're going to fix the world.
Nah, I don't know.
The thing is, I just can't agree with Kenny because he spent years of his life just dicking around, not working on his plan. No, he's going out just shooting people trying to fly in a hot air balloon, shooting teachers.
He was literally living the Wild West.
Yeah. And then only now does he actually start to act.
Okay, for some people, he's cool, and they like that, and they think he's redeemable. For me, and I guess, I don't know about you guys, it's not that great.
I think he's cool, I think he's a badass, I love him, but hell knows he is not redeemable or forgivable.
But maybe the reason why he's only acting now is because now he's in a good position in like the military. You know, before he's also from the slums, from the ghetto, he can't really do much. But now he's in the military police. He has like the option not to do what's right or to plan ahead, to plan what's good, like for everything.
And even though he's in that position, he still continues to kill people.
It became a habit, yeah, unfortunately. It became a habit.
It's a bad habit, man.
Bad habit. Worse than smoking.
A little. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
That's actually something we haven't seen in Attack on Titan. We haven't seen tobacco.
Really defining some lines here. Next question. Who would you want to die at the end of this arc?
Levi.
I think we talked about that.
Yeah, I'd like Levi.
Yeah, Levi and Kenny. And Rob.
Rod, yeah.
I'd like for any of these people to die, but the question is if it's actually...
It sounded like you said Annie.
Annie.
For a second, I thought you said I would
like for
Annie of all these people to die. I was legitimately scared for you and confused for a second there.
Any of these people to die. That's pretty good. The question is whether or not it's actually going to happen, and I don't think it will soon.
No. 2 chapters.
I hate that ballpark game because it's never right.
No, because we're going to see another character, so it's going to be a new arc, most likely.
He's either in this one or the next one. I couldn't quite tell from the
okay. Alright,
quote unquote. Next question. So, if they introduce new shifters when we eventually get to the village, what
powers should they have?
What would be cool for a shifter power to be? If you were going to be an X-Men character, what would you want your mutant power to be?
I mean, it would be... this might be way too OP, but invisibility, but that's way too OP.
I want to see the future.
I kind of think that what Hanji and Mobley were talking about on top of Rose, I think a digging titan would be pretty cool to see.
Excuse me? Pardon me?
A digging titan?
Digging titan, yeah.
Right, good, I'm glad you okay.
What do you think I said?
I don't know. I have no idea. But, I guess...
And then, as OP as it would be, a titan with the power of taking to the skies would be pretty cool as well.
That would be stupid as hell.
I know.
It would be
I know. I agree. But that being said, it would be cool.
There's no power cooler than ice powers.
In fact, I think I almost want it to happen just so I can have the liberty of hearing you two complain about it.
My shifter has ice powers because ice powers are the best powers.
Well, Annie already kind of does have ice powers.
Not really ice, though. Like
in the anime, it looks like ice, and one would argue that she's pretty damn frozen at the moment.
They're crystals, though. That's not really the same.
Stiller, you think, like, you were just saying for, like, ice powers just not related to Annie, just, like, in general? You think ice powers are cool? Wow.
Yeah, man.
See, I don't think that's possible, though, because
ice powers are
Titans are unreasonably hot, so I don't see how they'd be able to put a spin to make
my favorite superhero is Sub-Zero.
There we go. Isn't he just a stupid person with an ice ray? Like, he doesn't even...
Oh, what are you thinking of?
I don't know.
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze, right.
Or Captain Cold.
Woman, where did you put my super suit?
Good reference.
It is. It's a good reference. I like that. Good job.
They're making a second movie.
Frozone.
I know.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I watched Frozen, and I was hyped for it because ice powers. I didn't give a damn about anything else, but...
Okay, Stiller, I think I officially hate you now.
Hey, okay, the movie's cool because
I hate Frozen with a passion.
It has ice powers. It's good.
I hate that movie with a passion.
I don't care about all the singing and the Disney and all that shit. She, like, made a castle made of ice. That's awesome.
I was hoping Anna would get fire power at some point.
Oh my god.
Wow, what's your shifter power?
I want to see the future. That's not even a shifter power, I guess.
Good question, though.
We were describing them as superpowers, so that's one thing instead of shifting abilities.
It's true.
Yeah.
Heat ray.
Pick a character and read the manga from that person's perspective. And read all of the threads and speculation and discussion about you on different websites. How do you react to it? And who do you choose?
Is that what they were asking? I thought they were saying, like, if you could have Isayama rewrite this to only focus on one character, who do you choose and why?
No, it's saying if you were going to pick a character who you would want to read about as that character, who would it be?
It's going to be Armin, probably.
Like, I don't know. Who do you choose?
Yeah, see, it's like the chapters from their perspective.
It's asking who would you pick to read these chapters, yeah?
I feel like I would pick Mikasa just for the sake of, like, I want to see her reaction to, like, people like Stiller being like, you're an emotionless, horrible person who doesn't have any character development, who doesn't care, who is like...
Scotty, I can deliver her reaction to you right now. My specialty is cutting meat. Would you like to see a demonstration?
You're gonna quote yourself, man? That's so lame.
You get -5 cool points for that.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that I didn't say it, she did. Wait, I'm confused.
I kind of like Scotty's idea, though. I think that would be cool, just to see her reaction to, man, people think I'm like crap. They think I'm boring. They think I'm lame. Let's see, who would be a good character? How about Berthold? He's not in it a lot, but the fan speculation about him would be interesting to see how he would react to.
Oh, you know what'd be really cool, too? Would be Reiner, to see if he, had, a moment of, realization, do I have split personality?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do I have a split personality? No, don't. Shut up, they'll find our secret.
How about Connie? He comes out, he reads through the chapter, he hears all the feedback, and he's like,
I'd like to
people think I'm worthless.
Except this one Scotty V23 guy. He's really my top fan.
Yeah, I was about to say, Scotty's probably pretty cool.
I would like to make Reiner watch a Slap on Titan and see what he thinks.
Oh my god, the Pound Town thing?
Pound down, man. Pound down.
I wonder if he'd be offended by it. I'm not that dumb.
Fucking roids, man.
Yeah.
If we're going by my idea of my interpretation of the question, it'd be cool to see Hanji or Erwin's, just to see what they were going through. But with Sarah's interpretation, it would also be cool to see Erwin go through the subreddit and be like, why do you have no faith in me?
I guess everyone would, in my interpretation. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Levi would be a good one. Hitch would be a good one. I guess
Aaron.
You know what, though? It's a good question. Great question.
Yeah.
Please keep submitting those kinds of questions. That's it. Thanks for listening to the Chapter 64 edition of the cast.
Okay, still, we're not done.
We're not?
Why would we be done?
That's the last question.
No, it's not. I know for a fact that Connie fans, or whatever the hell his name was, submitted 3.
But look at the document. We're out of questions.
What happened was he didn't want to give Connie the recognition, so he literally skipped the names.
No, we're actually. You're looking at the freaking document with me, Scotty. We're out of questions.
Yeah, I'm just saying the questions you read previous that had Connie as a submitter, you left out his name purposefully.
You know what? I don't even care anymore. We're done. Thank you for listening to the Chapter 64 edition.
Thank you so much, Connie fans.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Wawa. Thank you,
Merry
Wawa.
Christmas, guys. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
I guess, again,
we are going through our co-host applications, and
we'll be starting the interviewing process very soon.
Yeah.
If you're in that group of people, I've already talked to you. We're going to start interviewing people, and we'll have the new co-host within a couple of months from now.
I guess I want to give a shout out to my fellow mods now. Thank you for everything. Thank you for doing your best in keeping with the subreddit. Even though some of the mods right now aren't really in there anymore, they did their part in the earlier years of the sub, which I still appreciate. So yeah, shout out to FGS, shout out to Flying Goatee, shout out to Irf00, shout out to Bob from accounting. He's pretty cool, still active. Shout out to you, shout out to the moderator.
Shout out to shout-outs, man.
Shout out to shout-outs.
Shout out to me!
Oh,
shout out to the Connie fans.
Wawa, it was great to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's an honor.
We'll gladly have you again someday.
Oh, looking forward to it. Maybe by then Levi's dead. We'll see.
Sorry, Sarah.
Alright,
we'll
go ahead. Close the show. Thank you.
Work on it. So we'll see you guys next month on the next episode.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.